one of the first judges ever, actually of the very first Edmonds and Bloom contest. And if I am more handsome now than I was on the video, it's because I eat all those Brussels sprouts. So, you know, it's really, first of all, I have to say, I only get 10 minutes. And that is really a rare occasion for me. So get that hook ready just in case. So, you know, I remember I got the call, I got a telephone call from someone and they said, would you like to be on the very first Edmonds and Bloom garden contest? And I said, I've never been a judge in a garden contest. I have no idea how to do it. And they said, well, I'll help you and everything. And I'm wondering if that woman who was my partner on the very first Garden and Bloom garden contest is out there in the audience. Because I'm embarrassed beyond Tweedle to say that I don't remember who the heck she was. But I liked her really a lot. So it was really interesting because the rules were that the people, they couldn't like try and influence us when we saw their garden. You know, we were supposed to just walk through and see them by ourselves. Well, I don't think anyone let us walk through. Every one of them loved their garden so much and wanted to show how cool it was. So they would go with us, and some gave us garden tours, even though they weren't supposed to. The only problem was we had these little scorecards we were trying to do, and people were trying to look at them all the time. I tried to turn them the other way. And it was really interesting, some of the ways people tried to influence us. For instance, there was one woman, and she went, do you like art in the garden? And I said, yeah, I really like garden art, you know. She goes, oh, good. Well, 15 pink flamingos probably were too many. But some of the other ones were really fun. There was one woman that she kind of led us through the garden, even though she wasn't supposed to. And at one point she turned around and said, if you think, like everyone else that comes to my garden, thinks I stole all these garden combinations out of famous garden magazines, it's not true. I came up with all of them myself. I thought that was a little lobbying, but I wasn't sure, you know. I think the one that probably hit me the most was we went to this woman's not very big garden. And part of it was really beautiful, but there was one garden that was kind of unusual. And she said, well, I just want you to know that my 2 kids designed this garden. I looked at her 2 kids and they were 4 and 6 years old. But you're kidding. But it was, you know how you see those pictures on the refrigerator that 4 and 6-year-old kids design? But you know what? I was so impressed that she let those kids design that garden in a big garden design. I wanted to give her the top award. But so we saw so many spectacular gardens. And I have to tell you that tonight, my wife Mary told me if we lived anywhere else besides where we live in Seattle, where we have a pretty nice garden, she said, it would be Edmonds I'd like to live in. And I thought, you know what, you're right. That's where I'd like to live too. But anyway, let me tell you, so we saw so many, some really spectacular gardens, some that were, you know, newbies just getting into gardening, but really getting excited about it. And what I saw was all the pride and the caring that went into every one of these gardens, and I saw people just lighting up with a love of gardening they may never have had before that contest. And so I can't remember how many judges there were. I know there was that really nice woman and I, and there were some other ones, and so we got together to try and pick who was the grand winner. There was no doubt, I don't remember who it was now, but there was no doubt about who the grand winner was, because it was one spectacular garden beyond anything I'd ever seen. But we saw so many gardens that people cared so much about and put their heart into, and somehow all the people that came up to create this garden contest and all the judges, we sat together and we thought, let's give everybody an award. Because what those people wanted, they didn't care if they wanted $200. They wanted recognition and people to appreciate the beautiful garden they created. So what we did, we gave everybody a really great prize. And I remember standing up on this podium, announcing the prizes, and watching the looks of delight in the people that won the awards. And it was one of the most moving things I've ever been through in my life. So I'm so happy that I got to be one of the judges on the very first Edmonds in Bloom Garden Contest. And I am so happy that 25 years from now, Edmonds in Bloom has bloomed into the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So congratulations to everybody involved in this. It's a wonderful program. And I think it just delights that tweedle out of me. That's all I can say. So thanks for having me here tonight. Congratulations.